life can hit like a sledgehammer. But guess what? We hit back harder. Welcome to Affirm That Sh. Somehow, I thrive. I'm Jennifer Rogers, your no BS guide to turning life's toughest moments into badass victories. Ready to flip the script? Let's affirm that life can be a bitch, but somehow we thrive. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Affirm That Sh. Today, you're going to meet Eve, a powerful woman who had the world in her hands, but that world got flipped upside down. And the stronger and the tighter she held on, the further it began to slip away. What did she do? She had to make a choice. She had to choose herself. And when she did, the magic in her began to release. She began to receive everything she asked for and push away anything that did not belong on her journey. And her journey is not one that many of us could walk alone, but she did it. And today, she sits on her throne of knowledge, power, love, security, and an unmeasurable amount of determination. She can't be stopped. She won't be stopped. And today, we have the pleasure of hearing her story. But first, our affirmations. I ask you to join us in saying these. If you are in a position where you can take a break, close your eyes, do some breathing, do that with us now. If not, come back to this podcast, hit subscribe, and listen to them again and again. Because these affirmations will set you free on your journey as well. Here we go. Take that deep breath in. Hold. And let it out. This move is not a step back. It is a reset for my highest good. This move is not a step back. It is a reset for my highest good. This move is not a setback. It is a reset for my highest good. I trust this change is guiding me to new opportunities and growth. I trust this change is guiding me to new opportunities and growth. I trust this change is guiding me to new opportunities and growth. The love and memories I've created on my journey empower me through the storms. The love and memories I've created on my journey empower me through the storms. The love and memories I've created on my journey empower me through the storms. And does Eve have a storm story for you? We'll hear it right after this break.
Imagine a space where you let go, where the clamor of the world quiets and you meet your truest self. At Yu-Gi-Oh, through sound vibrations, Reiki, and the wisdom of tarot, we help you release what no longer serves you, align with your energy, and renew your spirit. Begin your journey back to yourself today.
Hello, Eve.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so excited. And hello to your wonderful viewers.
Thank you. We're excited to have you here. And that introduction doesn't pack a punch to what you're about to share with us. So I'm just going to open now for you to share with the listeners, the viewers, the shit that you have been through and how you came out today thriving and surviving. Where would you like to start with?
Well, thank you so much again. It is very hard for me to go back in time, but after your affirmation, and I did your breath work as well, it really deepened. I This is what I felt. I have to share my story. I have to come out of the 15 years of silence because my story can empower. My story can help somebody to break free. Boy, I was in a very, very difficult situation, and I decided after 15 years of silence, I'm ready to share my personal story. And I never revealed this on any social media platforms before. So I must say, you guys are the first, and thank you for allowing me to share this very emotional, this very deep journey full with pain, sacrifice, and heartbreak. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you, Eve, for trusting us with your story that you've held on to for so long. And that's exactly what Affirm That Shit is about. It's about releasing that silence that we carry. So it is my honor and my pleasure to have you as a guest today.
thank you, Jennifer. Oh boy, where would I start? Well, I've been through so much. My daughter was only 6 months old when I had to send her away, and I didn't see her for almost 2 years. And that gap between us, oh my God, it was unbearable. Um, that wound, I felt like I could never, heal. Something was so deep, and it was very hard. It was the hardest thing, to missing her first step, to miss her first words, and basically miss everything um, about her. That thing just tore me apart. The pain of those lost moments consumed me, and I had to find the strength, and I had to keep going. And today, finally, I break my silence and sharing this raw, unfiltered truth, how I went from heartbreak to healing, from struggle to strength. And I'm pretty sure your viewers will probably had a similar situation where they had to step into a very uncertain situation where they had to put themselves first to know you're working something towards your better future. And for me, that was to give up my daughter and finally sort out things on my own, to kind of like avoid her to not go through that pain, to kind of like shelter her to be safe in a loving environment.
A protection for her.
Yes, yes.
But
And
to look at yourself and know that my daughter's only 6 months old.
yeah, well, that pain nearly break me. Um, I felt guilt, and that consumed me so much. But I refused to let my story end this way. So I turned my deepest struggle into my greatest comeback. I rebuilt my life from scratch, and I became the person I am today. And like I said, I know my story could help someone to break through from their pain. And no matter how messy, life can get, you can have the opportunity, you have the power within you to change everything. And that power is a God-given power, and you don't even know how strong you can be. You don't even know how how deep you can actually go in and allowing yourself to overcome basically anything. I
What
would say,
is it, Eve? Because as a mother, I too am a mother, and many of our listeners are mothers and fathers. What was it that you said, I can't carry on with my daughter in this moment while I'm trying to better myself? Because I think that would be something hard for us to wrap our minds around. Many of us may be sitting here listening, going, "What? Your daughter? You're saying you're bettering yourself, but you left your daughter behind." Can you walk us, if you're comfortable sharing, what your story was of why you had to make that decision?
yes, Jennifer. I remember like it was yesterday. It was, I lived in Chicago in that time, and the Chicago winter can be so brutal. And I was alone, exhausted, um, and holding on to nothing but determination to keep going. Every morning, I had to get my daughter, and drop my daughter off in that winter, in that cold, driving through the icy roads um, to drop her off at my ex-husband work. And despite all that pain and all that struggling, what you felt, um, my marriage was over already, and I just had to keep everything together. And when I went to work, I had to pretend everything is okay. I had to pretend, I could smile even though I saw my whole world crumbling. And in that moment, I knew I had to break free, and I had to create an environment not just for myself but for my daughter, because she deserved better. She doesn't deserve to be in a broken home. She doesn't deserve to feel this pain. And that gave me the courage. And I called my mom and I asked my mom to come over. While I was filing for the divorce and trying to keep my job, um, so many times, I had those thoughts like, am I doing the right thing? Is this is this really what I want? uh, to give up this American dream, to give everything up and start all over again with the uncertainty, with the unknowing. And my mom came and she took my daughter. My daughter was 6 months old, and they flew back to Europe. I had the chance to sort out everything. It took me over a good year to finally get everything sorted and get the sole custody, and that would give me the freedom what I needed with my daughter. And when you think you can survive, and you can survive in any situation, you don't even know how strong you are. And when you think everything will break for you, and when you think like, oh, I'm not gonna make it, this is gonna break me, well, let me tell you, wonderful viewers, that is the point when you can thrive, and that is the point where you can survive, and everything what doesn't break you will make you stronger. And that unknown was terrifying for me, um, not knowing you know what's gonna happen to me, not knowing how everything will be back home. So
Absolutely, because it wasn't like your daughter was 5 or 10 minutes away. She's a country away from you.
mhm, yes, we
And
often
we have conveniences today of these virtual platforms and FaceTime on phone. But
and
at that
we
time,
we had Skype. We had Skype back then,
uh,
and every day we've been talking on Skype, and that was the joy of the highlight of the day, and that kept me going to keep fighting, to keep fighting. And when I when I finally decided I'm going to give up my job, I'm going to give up, that American dream, what I built for us, uh, having an awful divorce, with less than, very little money to start over. I flew back and I went back home to Europe. And the hardest thing was when I arrived at the airport, and she saw me, and I wanted to hug her, but she saw the reflection of me in the window, thinking I am still inside the screen. And I see pressing her little fingers to that cold surface, kissing the window, not even realizing I'm there in person. That experience broke me, and I was determined, and it gave me that power, and I made the choice. I have to rebuild again.
So you literally gave it all away. In the
Yeah.
introduction, we talk about what you thought was your world that you held on to so tight, it had to let go. And you say American dream because that's what you came here for, to build a better life, to build security. And that wasn't the dream that came to fruition for you. So now you've gone through this, you have the help of your mom, you have the ability to focus on Eve, to focus on daughter, to plan and prepare for what your true future is. You're back in Europe. Where do you go from there?
Yes. But before I talk about how I felt when I moved back home, I have to share the struggles. It was
Mm.
real. Juggling work, juggling, babysitting, and not getting the support what you needed. Often we didn't have food. I couldn't able to feed my daughter, and we were sitting in the cold and just holding her, with layer of blankets and singing her lullabies, um, not knowing what's the future gonna be like. And then I decided, no matter how hard will be, I have to do this for her, and I have to walk in that unknown. So we arrived in Europe, and I finally hold her in my arms, and I finally, get to see her smile. Um, but I felt strange. I felt like I'm not belonging at in my own house. I wasn't belonging in the environment. I felt like a stranger. I couldn't find a job, and the culture, what I thought, I was born to, it's completely changed. I was an alien in my own home. And then again, I had to decide I have to find something better. I have to rebuild a home. And then we moved to UK, where I had the chance to start my career over, and slowly I able to get our home. We rented a place, and then the wonderful thing happened. Uh, the thing what I was fighting for, the thing what I was always, you know, manifested for our life, um, not knowing. And I swear I give up on love. I swear I never wanted to do anything anymore. And finally, something magical happened. Love find me again, and my husband didn't saw a broken person. My husband saw somebody strong, somebody who's fighting for her daughter. And the most wonderful thing is he actually took us in and cared for my daughter as his own. That was wonderful. That was what I always wanted, that peace, that stability, that freedom, that love,
That
and
dream you are chasing.
the dream what I was chasing. Yes. And if you're watching this wonderful podcast, and if you're stuck, or if you have any fear, and you're wondering if you can do it, if you're wondering you can break free from that relationship, you can break free from that job, or whatever it may be, I have to tell you, you can do it, and you are stronger than ever. The only the thing it's going to hurt you more to stay in a relationship, or stay in a marriage, or stay in a position where doesn't serve you, or you're not belonging, because that's the hardest part, to stay there and to pretend. And I know it's not easy, and we don't have enough strength to break free, but when you actually go in deeper within you, and you allowing that freedom, you allowing that love, you allowing that wonderful new life coming into you, then everything is gonna be aligned. God is gonna give you the support what you need. It's gonna align you with people who will guide you to your path. You will get the support, and like I did, I came again to an unknown. I moved again to an unknown territory, not knowing, I will able to make it. But that force was driving me to have a better life for my daughter, because she deserves the best. It was worth fighting for, and I would do it again.
And Eve, you are doing it today, and you are helping others in that path. And again, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you for sharing this story out loud, publicly for the first time, so that it can change and empower and encourage others. And I know there will be those that are seeing this, that are listening to this, that connect with you and resonate with you, or saying, oh my gosh, I'm going through, something similar. How can those reach out to you?
Everybody could look and actually search for my page on Facebook. It's called Open Hands, or you can reach out to me by email, info@openhandsinstitute.com. Feel free to connect with me. Feel free to have any questions. And before we close, I have to say this statement. Um, because sometimes you're walking away, that doesn't mean you're giving up. That means you're choosing something better. You're choosing to fight for something better. And I choose love, I choose freedom, and I choose my daughter. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome. What a beautiful way to encourage and end the show. Thank you for your time, Eve.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You just took another step towards owning your story and thriving against all odds. This is Affirm That Sh. Somehow I thrived. If you're ready to keep kicking ass, subscribe now, and let's keep breaking barriers together. Remember, life's a battle, but somehow you'll thrive.